How you doing, and welcome to Neither Real Music. This is Just Play It, my song series dedicated to arrangements of songs that I enjoy playing. In this version of Just Play It, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to talk about soloing. But before we get started, please remember to subscribe and ring the bell so that you know when your next lesson is coming. In this case, we're going to be looking at soloing through the lens of the song How High the Moon by Morgan Lewis and Nancy Hamilton. This song was made famous by Les Paul and his wife. So to get started, we're going to be breaking down the first four measures. So we're going to be using the chords G major 7, G minor 7, and C7. We're going to have two measures of G major 7, one measure of G minor 7, and one measure of C7. So one of the first questions you should ask is, why am I talking about chords if we're going to talk about soloing? Well, every chord has a different series of notes that you can use to create a solo over it. Some chords have one or more scales that can be done over the same chord. So G major 7 actually has up to 3 scales that you can use and a few others that might sound a little bit interesting but do work. G minor also has 3. 7 chords, dominant chords, typically only have one common scale that you would use over them, but there can be other things that you can twist into place. So the first scale we're going to be looking at is going to go over a G major 7 chord. And we're going to be looking at a G major pentatonic scale, something very easy to start with. So we're going to use the notes G, A, B, D, and E. And then we're going to repeat that, G, A, B. I'm going to stop there to try to keep everything within 5th or 4th position on the guitar. You can reach out and go for this D and this E if you want to travel into higher places on the guitar. So once again, we have G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B. Stop there for now. So that's one option of scale that you can use over the G major 7 chord. You could also just use a plain old G major scale. So we're going to start in the same spot for that. So in this case, we're going to have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. If you wanted to keep going, you could add in the letters A, B, and C. So let's take a look at that again. Plain old G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, with some extension, A, B, C. So now we have two different scales that can go over a G major 7 chord. G major pentatonic, and plain G major. Both of these scales contain similar notes between them. That's why they work. The pentatonic scale provides us with some interesting intervals, jumps between two notes that we otherwise don't get with our major scale unless we really try. There are some interesting things we can do by extending the major scale in different directions, like adding this note F sharp before G. then we can have some really interesting interval ideas from there. Next, we're going to talk about our G minor 7 chord. In this case, we're going to be doing a G Dorian mode. We're not going to do a G minor scale. The reason why we're doing a G Dorian mode is within this song we have a key change getting set up. So we're going to be changing to the key of F. So instead of playing a normal G minor scale, we're going to play a G minor that is related to the key of F. So in this case, we're going to have the notes G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. So for our G minor chord, we're using a G Dorian mode. G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. This way we can support the key change that is getting set up for us within the song. Last, we have a C7 chord. I actually prefer playing a C9 chord. I think it's just a more interesting sounding chord overall. But either way, it won't affect the scale that we're going to do, which is C Mixolydian. So we're going to be starting here on C. And once again, the reason we're picking a Mixolydian mode is because I want my scale to be related to the key of F. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. One more time. C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. So we have 4 different scales in this sequence that you're going to need to memorize. A G major pentatonic, a regular G major scale, a G Dorian scale, which is a type of minor, and a C Mixolydian scale, which is close to a type of major. I'm trying to keep these ideas all within my 4th and 5th position on the guitar to make it easy to understand and easy to move around. But once you understand this concept, you could find this idea anywhere on the guitar. So if I want to do a G major starting in a lower position, I can. If I want to do my G Dorian in a different position, I can. Same thing with the C. You're not restricted to the place that I'm showing you. So once you understand the scales, you can find the notes in other parts of the guitar to connect longer ideas from different parts of the guitar. But for now, we're going to stick in 4th and 5th position just to keep things easy to understand. So what I'm going to do now is run through each scale at a count of 60 beats a minute, and we're going to use eighth notes. I'll tell you what each scale is, so this way you can have something to practice along to. You're also going to get to hear the chord that fits underneath it on a piano, so you can hear what different instruments do to each other and how they affect each other. So here is an example of each one of those scales I just showed you. So now here's an example of each one of these scales with the corresponding chord that goes with it. Let's start with our G major pentatonic. 1, 2, 3, 4. G major pentatonic one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's take a look at our plain G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a look at that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now now we're going to take a look at our G Dorian scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last, we're going to look at our C Mixolydian scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do is play each one of these one right after the other so that you can hear it with the chord change associated. You'll hear how each one affects each other, and then we'll take it from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The way I'm showing you in this example is each scale is ascending, but as you get comfortable with this idea, practice them ascending and descending. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a backing track that I've done some soloing over so that you can hear some ideas that might work for you. Now, my backing track and the solo that I picked has some color tones in it, so you might hear some things that sound out of place, but they're purposely put in there. And this way, you could hear what can be done. Then what I'm going to do is leave a backing track at the end of this video that you could practice along with, just to see what you can come up with. So here's my backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you get started playing your own idea, something to consider while you're doing solos is start with simple phrasing. Start with questions and answers that you can use the syllables of. Something like, how are you doing? How are you doing? Something along those lines. And then your answer should be something just as simple. I am doing good. So we put those two ideas together. How are you doing? I am doing good. This way, you could have simple phrasing and easy to understand ideas. If you find yourself playing too much, pull it back. It's actually better to play too little than it is to play too much. That's B.B. King's mentality. So here is a backing track for you to try out. One, two, three, four. So this is the ideas for the first 4 measures of how high the moon. You'll notice that my backing track is pretty long. It's 4 minutes of the same 4 chords happening over and over again. But that's how you learn really good ideas. You practice the same thing over and over again. I hope videos like this are really helping you become a better player. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you can, please donate to me on Patreon. Every dollar helps me have more time to grow this channel and provide more content for you. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you know when your next lesson is coming. Good luck, good practice.